coming to tell us wonderful information they've got for us. I just want to ask one or two questions from those of us who attended the last session by Dr. Steven. Can you just tell me one word you learned from what he said? Purpose, thank you. Anybody else? Yes?
I think
You're thinking.
the three ways says MC achiever, you have the first one who are confused.
Okay, those who are confused, thank you.
Trap visionary.
Trap
Visionary.
Trap visionary.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. There's something he said I won't forget. He said, what you are born to do is different from what you are paid to do. You know? What you are born to do is different from what you are paid to do. And I have the singular honor to call for Dr. Lanre. But before he speaks, there's a short video that's going to be played. And after that, he will come and give us a lot of ideas that I know will transform our lives and make us better.
A leader, an innovator, a philanthropist, Dr. Lanre Shonekan is a man of many achievements, shaping industries and transforming lives across the globe. With over a decade of excellence, Dr. Shonekan is the founder, managing director, and CEO of Lanre Group, overseeing more than 10 thriving companies across multiple industries, from real estate to media, security, and education. As a top realtor and promoter of Lanre properties, he has spearheaded 14 estate developments, making homeownership a reality for thousands. A passionate farmer, he runs one of the most productive farms, excelling in both crop and animal production, and empowering future agricultural entrepreneurs through Lanre School of Agriculture. As chairman of Lanre Security, Dr. Shonekan oversees a force of over 500 security operatives, providing safety across commercial, residential, and government sectors. Committed to education, he founded Lanre Business School, offering specialized programs in real estate, agriculture, business development, and skill acquisition. As a media entrepreneur, he owns Lanre Communication and Lanre TV, producing Africa's first ever industrial TV reality show, redefining entertainment and education in the business world. Beyond business, he is a supernumerary deputy commissioner of police, a member.
At the end of all of this session, and if you can't tell me anything you learned
In the business world.
I'm gonna collect money from you.
Beyond business, he is a supernumerary deputy commissioner of police, a member of the Chartered Institute of Housing UK and the Royal College of Nursing UK. A pastor and philanthropist at heart, Dr. Shonekan is dedicated to giving back, ensuring that his success benefits the wider community. A businessman, a leader, a visionary, Dr. Lanre Shonekan is building a legacy that will inspire generations to come. Be a part of the journey. Visit www.lashawn.com today.
Nice today. I want to thank everything across, So it's to first thank you for this great initiative, just like I've said, and to every other speakers that are here today. I want to say thank you. And I think this is the best idea because this is a foundation for everything, and even those who are coming up also to speak. They must have got a business, they started it, and they're growing it. And the same thing goes to everyone who is there. I just have some few questions to ask you so that I'm sure the audience and those that are here, with me. My first question is to find out how many of you have started a business in any field, anyhow, before now? If you have started, let me see your hand up, please. If you have started a business, okay, thank you. If you're growing your business, and probably if your business has really grown, let me see your hand. I mean, you're okay where you are right now. You're satisfied. Definitely. And you know, the last question is to find out, you know, if you have opportunities today to start all over, or to that business you're doing, what will come to your mind? How best would you do it? We're going to be having some practical questions because the idea is to teach you a lot of, you know, it's through this practical experience to really, you know, take you through, because sometimes the words are so vague that just start a business. So we must be able to identify, you know, these areas that are really, you know, involved. They tell you to do and all, yes, you need them. But I'm very fortunate that I'm a man of a vision and a plan and a purpose. When I finished school, you know, my background, like I said, geology and mining. I worked in the oil company. I've done a little here and there. Then I moved into, because everything you see me doing today they are the journeys that I've taken through in my life that brought me there. And they are from the things I've learned through. And if you have to start anything, there is a place of learning. Many people just believe that, oh, on my street, somebody is frying akara. I'm going to be down to our level here, you understand? Someone is frying akara, and you see a lot of people queuing to buy akara. And it comes to your thought that akara is the next business. So I can do that. And you get to the next street, and here you are, frying akara. Nobody is coming. Because you have never understood the principles, the concept, and the idea behind the person. And even how to start. What business are you starting? Because the fact remains that until you can think through to look at a problem, because if your business is not solving a problem, you're going to just remain there. So the ideas, it comes from the idea there is a problem. Because if you look at all that we do in Lashon, we're solving problems. So you identify the problem. Once you can note that, the next is for you to take it off, to monetize it. You are going to package a solution. Your solution to that problem is what you call the product, which you are going to monetize. And once you can solve the problem and people can see of a truth that it's a solution, definitely you are in business. Because when you make profit, the word business comes with the word profit. If you are doing any work business that you cannot have, a match or imagine in terms of profit, something that has come up on your startup, then I can tell you are doing NGO. You're an NGO because it's not translating. And a lot of people are like that. My next slide, please. So what you've seen here is just a basic of who I am, which you have been there. These are, I mentioned that all this make me. And everywhere and anything I'm learning, the first thing is to gain the knowledge. I can tell you, while I started the real estate business, I went to do my master in housing and management development from the University of Lagos. Because many people who claim to be an authority, the place of learning cannot be underestimated. And that is what qualifies you and distinguishes you from just an ordinary person. So I got that knowledge, did that 18-month course, and that brought in my knowledge. Today, I'm not boasting, I'm here. We have over 18 estates across Africa. We're in Ghana, we're in South Africa, and I'm already working. Everybody is doing housing, I'm doing estate. We get there, don't worry. It depends on how you think and your mindset, because I'm going to be teaching you how to develop your mind. See that book I want to give out to 4 people at the end of the day, The Power of Your Mind. Because that is where it becomes. Whatever your mind can contain, you can achieve. You are never limited. And many times we are so myopic. When you come into this UK, let me tell you my story. They told me that IT is basic. If you're an IT guy, because I always try to find out. My cousin is an IT guy, and I can see how those guys are flexing. Little achievement, little work, hours, and all that, and they are making big money. I said, okay, today, tell me, because I just want the one that would, that's me. So he said I should go and do schoolmaster. That's 4 years ago. I did the schoolmaster. Schoolmaster did not master anything. There are a lot of promises, a lot of things. Let me tell you something. You have to be passionate about what you're doing. But there's no loss of exposure. He had him telling me that I'm doing cyber crime now, cyber security now with the school. Because there is a trend, and it's information that makes you, and you need all those information. So there's a place of learning. So that is why I'm already on my Lashon Healthcare Home Limited. It's a nursing home. Because I've mapped out what I want to do in this place if I'm coming to this country. I've registered, I've started it, I've done the CQ, those processes you need to do. I went to do MSc adult nursing at my age. People are laughing at me in the class. And look at the oldest. When I'm doing my placements, somebody that is not up to anything, they talk to you. You know where you're going. You're just here, just for a purpose and a time. These are people that you will employ when the time comes. Your mind determines where you're going. And if you cannot humble yourself now to get to the height you're going, you're deceiving yourself. A lot of people spend time to run after the shadows, where the real thing. You shouldn't be, you are coming in here, and that is you must have a mindset, a niche. Create it from your mind. There's nothing that is not possible to them that believe. My concept is always based on the word of God. That is a fact, I can tell you. There's a spiritual dimension to everything you do. Because after you have labored too much, sometimes you cannot edge it. So in my training, I'm writing a book on the spiritual dimension to everything you do. And that makes the difference. That makes you. So all these are like a journey to me. I'm an ordained pastor in Christ Embassy. So it's an opportunity for those who are in Ipswich. I'm starting out. Yes, it's in Kes grade, and I'm starting out. So you just decide on what you want to do. Because one, let me tell you, you might not believe it. Your spiritual line and projection determines your altitude. And there you have grace. So some of these teachings go beyond don't worry, we're making progress, we're excelling, we're making impact. And so all these are result of, you must, from where you start now, is there something you're thinking about doing? How much knowledge have you gained? How much do you know about it? So that starts your form. I told you I did not start even this business with 1 naira. And that's one of the things I tell people. And that's what I'm going to be showing you. How do I get 14 estates? I'm not boasting. When I call Jide Taiwo to estimate, I can't give you the figures. They are running to billions, just one. I multiply that by 14. And then multiply the impact. Here in the UK, I have over about 300 clients. And you see part of how now, diversification, because that is another challenge that everybody has. You just see on one thing. And then because many of my friends who stayed on just the real estate today, they didn't understand, because when the boom of the funds comes in, what do you do with it? Reinvestment and influting. All these I'm going to show you. Next slide. So that's who I am. You see, these are the journeys of life, from one idea, one customer, and one decision. You must have that. Then, the Lashon, as I told you, the real estate today is about 14 estates, and they are thriving. What are we doing? Providing housing, making it a form of solution. People are out there. I found that when I was growing up, that it takes a lot to build. It takes a lot of concerns even to own the property, to buy the land. In our own area, we have the likes of the Moliles. We have the likes of all the government policies and things that makes it difficult. So I've seen a lot of people who are finding difficulty in going into it. So that was a problem. I had to identify it. And I've seen other people who are in the same business, what they are doing. So I had to think through. Now, this is the aspect of, if you want to do business, you must be a thinker. You must be somebody who could go beyond the niche and look beyond what you see and project yourself into what you want to have. And that was what I saw in the real estate business. So I decided I'm going to have a niche in that thing. I'm going to play. I created my vision to be the most to most successful real estate in Nigeria, Africa, and the rest of the world, using the media as a platform. Your vision will determine your attitude. So you have that, just like he was telling you. So what did I do? I started out, and the secret is this. If you have, I started putting all those things together of starting the business. How do I start? No capital, no money, no business. Let me tell you, opportunity will always meet with the man that is already open to it. If you have that, there's something like the law of attraction. The thing begins to draw to you because your mind is set on it. I said, okay, I'm going to start by selling land for people so that I can gain the knowledge. Because sometimes apprenticeship, you see what they do in this country, that is just it. Our Igbo guys, that is just it. They do that learning through the process after they've settled them. Even the government of this country today, they are paying people to learn something, and then at the end of the day they become master, because you cannot underestimate the power of experience and exposure. You need it. You cannot just jump. It helps you to erase all the mistakes that you will be expecting to see. So definitely, I just thought, after I started selling for people, I know, before I know it, I started training, recruiting for real estate people. Before I know it, in one of my deals, and that's what broke me up, you must be able to identify where your source strength is. There was a doctor friend in Abuja, said he wants to buy 2 acres. That was just it, 2 acres of land. And if you're buying, because I'm buying from people who are selling, so I'm like an agent. So they will give me 10% commission. So that acre is 6 plots, and that time is about 1.2 million for that 6 plots. So the guy is supposed to give me 2.4 million to buy a 2 acre. So if I take that 2.4 million and get it to those people, they'll give me 240,000 naira. I'm happy for commission. But on the second thought, this is large money, as at that time that I've never touched. So I went to the man selling. I said, do you know what? If I want to buy, you have about 60 acres here. If I want to buy like 10 acres, that's power of negotiation, you get to all those things. But what I'm just going to paraphrase, because from what I'm saying, you will pick the niche of what you want to do. Teaching through experience better than, the books and all those things that people do, which you cannot even see. So it was from that simple experience that I got the man gave me the money. So I went and then I got 10 acres. I negotiated. I said, look, I'm going to give you money for 2 acres. Then the remaining 10 acres, he sold to me at premium. That 10 acres, which is my first estate, was given to me, each of those acres at 500. I'm collecting 1.2 for one. I will have collected 120 as a commission. So the 10 I collected, and he gave me a payment plan within 6 months. So I'm paying for 2. So I take 1 million out of the 1.2, out of the 2.4 million. I've settled the man. Then I start planning the rest. The rest is history today, starting with nothing. That's how we built up that. After I bought almost all this land, because when I get my profit, I develop, I produce infrastructure, get my documents in place, start selling, build and all that. So the funds were just to, and I moved to the next estate. I was putting the funds in. I found out that some of those lands that were purchased is just remaining fallowing. And I just looked at it because the oil industry is already going. There is need. Food is something you cannot do without. It's a business that I can tell you that no matter if every other thing is failing, because you need to eat. And that family goes beyond that. Hey, next slide, please. So basically, that was, one bit. I'm not the power of diversification is what I'm just trying to tell you. That brought me into those different arms of the business. So you must see. I say the foundation of the country. People wanted land. I've given you all this story. How I can solve this problem. I've given you what clients demand. Your service. As you give your service, it is what will create your niche. Because you can only continue in business. Many times people are complaining about There's no money. We're not making our product. Why your product is not going is because it's not meeting the need. If it is something that is meeting a need, there's no how. And that is the height of every business. So these are some of our essays. So every new customer problem became another business opportunity, because sometimes they will be the one to tell you, oh, this is what I want, this is how I want. That's how I moved around. They say, do you have something in Bejuleki? Do you have something in Shimawa? Do you have something in the... So you now begin to factor, oh, I want something like where I can be paying buildings for the house, you build and all that. All those things forms because they are needs. Don't create your business from what you think. Create your business from the needs that are coming to you and from what is really there. Many of you have not really sit down. I want to raise entrepreneurs in this place. I've seen them all over in those our group, the Ipswich group and all that. And I've just said, why are we wasting away? Why are we wasting away? Why are we just so myopic? You have people who drive there. I've seen them when they go to airport and all that. I've seen people who cook there. I've seen people, but they are too myopic. That we are not trying to. And they are the people that need to be in this business. Because the idea is to translate you from that level and become, this is Ipswich. You can create the niche. You can create the market. And there is synergy. 2-3 people coming together to form a strength. Networking is the key today, not a single island. Oh, you are an island somewhere and nobody even recognizes your presence. Let's go on. So, I got into, you see all these things, they have changed. The real estate 14 business already on. I looked at it. If I'm going to recruit, when the estate develop, in one estate alone, which has about 200 units, we will have nothing less than 500 security in just one of the estates. So it's a future plan. I started looking ahead. Will I go and look for a security company? Already, because of where I found myself, that gave me to open up national security. As of today, our estate becomes our model because we are recruiting them. If you finish your house, we'll take security. And before now, we have expanded. When the government sector, you have to also use your network. Use what you have and do it. We're everywhere in the bank, we're in the school sector, we're in almost all of the sectors. And we're still proving to go forward. The land, some of them, they're not ready to build. We're not ready to sell. We just bought them down. Nobody is buying some of them. But yeah, agri-business. And I went to UNAP. See, the thing you must learn, if you are a leader and you want to carry people along, the knowledge you know is what distinguishes you. The information you have is what makes you pro. There's nothing like that. Because if you don't know in depth, there's a place of training, there's a place of learning, there's a place of information. So these are the things. And I did master in habitat agriculture from UNAP. Another 18 months. While I was doing that, I was building the agri sector. I called some of my lecturers. See, this is my piggery, this is my fishery. There's anyone that comes to teach me. A big man, I give them the money. Come and establish it. Write me this, tell me this. Sometimes they work for me for a period. We establish it. As of today, it's one of the directors in Lagos State, Ministry of Agri, that is in charge and making the MD of the farm. See, knowledge, information, and everything you need is there. People ask you, why are you in UK? Yeah. The person in charge of, I don't want to tell you, because when you begin to understand some of these fundamentals, you will have rest. Many of you cannot leave what you are doing in one day, and then you will see it succeed. Because the people are there. They are trained to wreck, to mess up. They are self-centered. So you want to be there. So you find that niche that creates you, and it's from the information you have received. We went into agri as of today. I'm not boasting. We are producing. The Lagos State needs us. Many of the big eateries and all that, it just come to the farm. I've made a lot of calls today because trying to take decision on some of the things that is there. So when I found to a level, people started calling me. We need to know this. I set up the business school, the School of Agri, the School of Real Estate, Executive Entrepreneurship. I started the cooperative. The first intake saw generals. I'm not boasting today. I have generals who came in and said they want to learn as their retirement plan to learn how, to start up and all that. And they all formed into a cooperative. They started meeting me. I formed that cooperative for the common man, those who can be paying as less as some amount, so that they can save. We give you the building, we work on all those things. But I can tell you, the lives of doctors, engineers, everybody became common one. And they joined that team. We have about 400, 500 people who we have been building up in that sector. So you need to understand. So the business school is not about you. You must, and you will be able to see the clarity in this. That's what forms the creativity. So as I'm already on the journey here, I'm finishing my MSc by December. You understand? so many of us came in that year, well, everybody has a niche. I'm a member of the Chartered Institute of Housing because I've registered Lashon Group Limited UK. So I've been with them and to see all the opportunities to not just sell house and rent. We are all looking at it coming to I work in the Ipswich hospital and the University of also Ipswich in the NSC. Me, I always look at them. When they were getting their job, I will employ them. I went on the next place. So don't chase business, solve problem. Don't chase business. So just think through as you're there, because you will answer those questions for yourself and you can see opportunities where you need to go from. So the skills is the thing you need to look at. What skills? I told you all these things that you see me operating, they are things that I have learned and I've through all the different schools of thought, institutions that I've received. So identify your skill. What are you good at? What are areas you know within you that if they wake you up, this is something that you can do. So when you know any of those skills, look at the problem that is required, that requires that skill. Identify them. Look around. I told you, I was looking around from the real estate, which was the core, to see the opportunities around them, which they are also with selfless effort. All you need is to gain the knowledge in that field, and then you move. Validate demands, test before investing heavily, start small and learn fast. You don't grow all the time. So the business opportunity in the UK, quickly, let's look at that, because that's why we're here. I've seen a lot, and you see the major players. Where is our black? Let me know you are not black. Where are we in this business? Some people are here 14 years, 15 years, 18 years, and when I hear them out, they're just not satisfied. And they cannot, because the system here has been designed that you will not go beyond what you have here. And everything you have here is rested. So how do you break out? How do you break it? How do you make it? And the journey of 1,000 miles starts. Because sometimes you just think you have all the time. I mean, I'm not young. If you look at my head, going to school. But it is not about, everybody is about today. Your tomorrow matters the most. Where you're going is what you make your, that should be the fundamentals of the things that build your. So these are all the businesses, rounding up. Yeah. So they're cleaning business. There's good money. Time will not allow me. You look at all these businesses, these are things you can sit down and think through where your power belongs to. Next slide. Okay. All right. So the time had not permitted, but my final. Let me go to my final slide, because these are opportunities. Then I was meant to take out to scale business, and let's go on to the last one. Let's go on. So these are not the stream of people. Let's go on to the last slide. Is that the last slide? All right. So don't wait. Please. Let me just conclude with the last two, the one before this. So the journey, there are 3 ways to continue to grow. There's a mentorship program, because time is not allowing us. So the business startup coaching, which I'll give opportunity to just 5 people here if you are ready. And then what I'll do is to raise you, come up with a business. If you haven't one already existing, we'll build it and see it become a multinational business in the UK. So 5 people to do that. business growth strategy, if you have just for those who have started, accountability and planning section, then group mentorship core. This is a program I'm proposing for some of you. And then the business growth network, which is something I've already started. You know, this is just for those who are into business and they would like to, you know, follow through. So I'm raising people in that network. It's something you can join. Then I run that consultancy service as part of, I have Relation HR and Consultancy Limited. When you become an authority, you begin to also monetize it, solve the problem. And then, so these are things I do. And then finally, on my last slide. So don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait. Start where you are. Don't see from what I've said, because I never mentioned some of the trying moments, some of the challenges. So it doesn't just, you didn't build like that. But that is why when you follow such, you'll be able to have this full understanding of how to go about it. Use what you have. I told you, don't go and borrow money. Don't go and look for. I have never, to all the business I have today, no bank can call me that I'm going there. I have learned those secrets that you can generate the money you are looking for. And keep moving. You can see, I'm in the UK. I've registered 2 companies already. I'm not saying because I'm there. I'm understudying. I've got to know how I can play the big game, not to be like everyone that is trying to enter. No, but there are things you should have. There are qualifications, there are levels, and they do a lot of that here. Already I have about 4 different, different skills. Not skills even, what do they call those? All they are this thing that relates to me. Eh? They say level 9, level 10, I do it. So thank you so much. And